Hey, so I had someone asking me some questions about my Polaris Pro R, and they wanted me to give them more detail of what I've all done to it. I guess they're doing the same thing right now to theirs, or similar. So when you get this thing, it's just a toy grade. It's pretty slow, remote distance from the snowmobile isn't too far at all. So some of the things I've done to it, oh, losing the shocks, but I've upgraded it pretty good. And I've flipped this thing, rolled this thing and everything, and these covers always stay on. Sometimes they might come off the bottoms. You just got to kind of give them a little pop back on. It's still better than always unscrewing and screwing them back on. Yeah, so I can get these out of the way. I'll go with this first. These shocks are just garbage. They're so stiff when the snowmobile's going around the corners. They can't even absorb nothing. And even when the snowmobile was just sitting there, the old shocks would have had it just sitting stiff up. At least with these ones, it sags down a little bit. So when you're going around the corners, that one shock will suck in, and the other one will stay stiff and lift up. So it'll keep you way more sturdy. I ripped out all the old guts. And then I just had some circuit board similar to this. This is actually the circuit board out of this one. It was pretty much the same thing, just wax coated piece of junk with lights and battery hookup, steering, and electric motor. So I ripped that right out. And I ended up just throwing a brush system in it. 60 amp Lipo. It's only a 2S capable. Arma Mega. Can't really see it, it's hidden right back in there, pretty much underneath the seat here. And here's the transmission that I did put in it. So it basically just goes a spur gear to a pinion gear, and then it runs off to this little area where you can put your belt. This part worked very well. It's been well tested with my snowmobile too. So there, if you want to look it up, there it is. And then that aluminum piece there, I just had to cut out of a piece of aluminum and remake it. When you do buy the gearbox, it comes with these two pieces, and then your bearings sit in the top there, and your motor goes down here. But I wanted to upgrade it just to fit a bigger motor into it, because with the original gapping and spacing for the bolts and everything, it could only handle like a 370 or 380 or 400 motor. There's a 540 motor I got running in mine now. The other one's a 20 turn. It's in there, so it's a little bit more torquey, not as fast. Now these shocks are actually meant for a 1/18 scale Red Cat Racing 4x4. And they fit right in there perfectly. It was like night and day performance. And then with the track, the first thing I did was up there where you have your clogs. I just used some brass and some aluminum rods and drilled them through just so they fit onto those middle parts that catch. Those middle parts of rubber there that catch. Drilled them through, epoxied them on, and then the truck really caught. And then the next thing after that I did was where this went. I ended up, before this bogey wheel was actually round to right here, so I just drilled a hole just a little bit behind it. You can actually see that other hole a little bit in front of that wheel. I just drilled that a little bit back and then replaced it with a nut and a bolt. And then I just put a little bit of Loctite in there and sealed it up. And after that I just got these little chunks of plastic, and every other one I glued them on with some rubber cement or some really strong expensive crap anyway that worked really good. I ran about 3 or 4 battery lives, not one's falling off, they're not lifting, like they're extremely strong on there. Probably lift the whole snowmobile up from them actually. So there's about everything I could really think about. Other than my transmitter and receiver, I just went with the DX2E. It was cheap, it was only about 60 bucks, so worked perfect for the system. So if you had any more questions, or you want to know anything else about this, just ask or comment and let me know. I'll throw these side covers back on, show you how easy they go on. Try to do it one hand, it is a lot easier with two. Oh, it was a little harder just with one hand. I better do it with two hands. So with two hands that only took half a second. And the other thing I did is I moved the battery to the back. Tried to make it look like a little storage bag thing. So for some of my airplanes and foam airplanes and helicopters and stuff, I just make some cheapo batteries. I just go in the line and buy some batteries. You can get some that are 1500 milliamps and then some that are 2000 milliamps. And you just throw your balance lead connectors on there, whatever ends you use, and you can run them. It works great for this one because you really can't fit too much of a battery in there unless you want to cut all this out and try to fit a little 2S in there somehow. These are 2S Lions, not Lipos, but they're not too bad to make them. Shipping and handling either. I buy these in bundles, but for this one battery it's probably only like $7 or $8 or $6 maybe, so it's not too bad. But until the next video, that's all there is for this one. If you do want to know anything else about the Polaris Pro R, just let me know. I'll tell you what I've all done to it. I have to upgrade my skis here too. They're sagging down. I used to have just metal on there, a little metal wire on there to hold them up. I've tried springs too, because they don't stay stiff like these ones after so many rips. They're just loose. And that's not good either to when you go over a jump. So that's not really good either. Yep, thanks for watching. If you like this or any of my other videos, please sub, hit that like button.